It is pouring in Melbourne, and that's what we're seeing exactly on our FDOT cameras this morning. Here's a look at I-95 right in that area near the US 192 exit. Lots of raindrops here on the lens and very wet heading out the door. So take it slow for that morning drive. Same thing along I-4 in Champions Gate. That's the overall message here. Definitely a lot wetter than it was yesterday morning. So plan ahead for that morning drive. There's a crash along the beach line. This is working to clear eastbound near Tradeport Drive. I've been monitoring this all morning. Still working to clear off onto the shoulder. That is the only traffic issue I'm monitoring right now. But of course, when we do have this rain, we do have an uptick in crashes. So again, plan ahead for that morning commute. We'll take a look at some more live cameras and some of those travel times in just a few minutes. Some flashing lights here, Eric, along I-95. This is in Brevard County where we're seeing some of the heaviest rain this morning. This is southbound here right at the US 192 exit. A couple cars involved in this crash. FHP is here on scene, though, quickly working to clear this. So the right lane is blocked off. Just slow down as these crews are working to clear that this morning along I-95. Again, it is southbound there right at the US 192 exit in the Melbourne area. There's also a crash over on the beach line here. This is right near Tradeport Drive, close to Orlando International Airport. Just the shoulder blocked off here this morning, but still working to clear from those overnight hours. A quick look at those travel times right now. You can see still in the green, but add an extra 5 minutes for that morning drive just because of those damp roads. Between Saxon Boulevard and Lake Mary along I-4, both directions were at less than 10 minutes. Eric, this weekend, this morning, unfortunately, we do have that rain, so leading to a couple of issues for that morning drive. I-95, we have a crash here. This is southbound at US 192, working to clear now off onto the shoulder. You can see those flashing lights here for that morning drive. Again, not blocking any lanes of traffic, but FHP is working to clear that this morning. So very wet. Just make sure you're slowing down, not only because of that rain, but also those crews working to clear that crash. I-4 in downtown Orlando, you can see some raindrops here on the lens. Some showers just passed through here. So again, both hands on the wheel. Maybe just add an extra 5 minutes or so for that morning drive. So far, no major crashes. There is one along the Turnpike northbound in Lake County. We'll get to that one coming up in our next half hour. But here's a look at I-4 between US 27 and South Street. Eastbound, we're at 28 minutes. Westbound, we're at less than 25. Stay with us. We'll have more coverage of this weather coming up after this break. So look here along the Turnpike, Eric. We do have a crash in Lake County. This is traveling northbound north of State Road 50. This is in Montage. You can see the left two lanes blocked off this morning. So a bit of a delay moving through this area. I do want to give you a look at the map as well. You can see those delays are stretching for a couple of miles. So expect that slowdown here in Lake County. Traffic, though, able to get by in those right lanes. The big story, though, heading out the door is those damp roads. Really damp pretty much everywhere you're heading out the door, especially in Brevard County. This is where we have a crash along I-95 southbound at US 192. An uptick of issues when we have mornings like this with this weather. So just be mindful. I don't want you to be one of those people involved in the crash. You can see here southbound, the right shoulder is blocked off as crews are working to clear that. So a lot of rainfall here as well. So both hands on the wheel. We'll take a look at some more live cameras again coming up in just a few minutes.
If it's slick.
Yeah, inching closer to the weekend, Eric. Unfortunately, though, we have to get through this morning drive first. A couple of traffic issues. The beach line here, there's a crash that's been working to clear since at least 4:30 this morning, eastbound right near Tradeport Drive. It looks like a secondary crash just popped up in the same area. So an ambulance is back on scene. The right shoulder part of the right lane blocked off as well in this area. So going to be slow moving there. Also slick roads. So both hands on the wheel and travel slower as those crews are working to clear that crash. Along the Turnpike in Lake County, we also have some slowdowns here northbound, north of State Road 50. There's a crash in Mountain Verde. I do want to show you our traffic camera in this area. You can see here, looks like the Turnpike Authority is zooming it in there, but a couple cars involved in this crash. It is blocking off the shoulder. So expect some delays moving through that area this morning. We will take a look at some of those travel times along the Turnpike impacted coming up in just a few minutes. For a crash this morning, of course, those slick roads going to impact you. This is a look here along the Turnpike in Lake County, Mountain Verde. We have this crash northbound. This is right after State Road 50. Now fully off onto the shoulder. So delays significantly improving in this area. You can see that on our map as well. Highlighted here, those delays just stretching for about a mile or two. So not going to slow you down too much, but just be mindful to slow down and move over for those crews working to clear that crash. Here along the beach line, we also have some slowdowns in Orange County. I've been keeping my eye on this crash all morning. This is right at Tradeport Drive. You can see here a couple cars involved in this crash. Also very slick conditions. So have those low beams on. Add an extra 5 to 10 minutes for that morning drive, but so far nothing major to slow you down this morning. A quick look at those travel times near those theme parks. Eastbound along I-4 from US 27 and Champions Gate to South Street, we're at 35 minutes. Westbound, no delays, we're at 25. It is 6:52. We'll have your top stories right after this break. And a final look at traffic this morning. I-4, pretty heavy delays here. This is near those theme parks traveling near World Drive. Stop and go there eastbound. No crashes though, but slick roads for that morning drive heading out the door. This is a look at the beach line eastbound. The crash working to clear near Tradeport Drive. Have those low beams on as the sun starts to rise and both hands on the wheel with those slick roads.